Okay, Srijan, you are from Andaman.
Yes, sir.
So, uh, can you tell me all the kinds of job that is there in your state, and
So,
you can also tell me in order that this particular livelihood or job has the highest number of people who are involved in. So, in that way, can you arrange them?
okay, sir. Sir, there are various livelihood which are in island. First livelihood is basically the tourism sector. Second, it is depend upon
So,
the
the one more, I'll interrupt here. Does tourism makes the highest number of people who are working in tourism sector from your
uh,
state?
sir, tourism is a significant number. Uh,
Of course, significant number, but I was telling you, I was asking you to tell me in order to in decreasing number of people involved in.
Sir, in terms of if you see in terms of revenue, the tourism sector
Of course,
is the
tourism sector is the highest. So,
highest.
but I did not ask that. No, I asked you that in terms of number of people involved.
In terms of people involved is the basically the agriculture sector, where specifically people are they are in especially in the plantation sector. Like 63% of the total agriculture is the plantation crops, especially the coconuts, which are very widely spread in the island.
Okay.
Second is the bamboo industry, which is specifically driven by the Nicobaris and the other tribal groups. And there is then comes the in tourism sectors.
And what about fisheries?
Fish, yes, sorry to say, sir. Fisheries, fishery stands for the second. Like fisheries also comes into agriculture, sir. It comes with agricultural and allied
No,
activities.
so of course
First comes
agriculture
the
and
agriculture
allied,
in terms of
but you divided
the
agriculture in terms
coconut.
of okay. Matlab the first is like agriculture, then is then bamboo,
Yes, sir.
and third fishery.
Yes, sir. Then comes the in tourism sector.
Hmm.
These are the these all are then at last comes the horticulture, especially the flowering industry, like flowering sectors, different types of flowers.
Okay.
These
So
are
you
the
your state doesn't have
areas, sir.
any manufacturing plant or
Yes, sir.
local industry or handmade industry.
Hello.
So I was asking,
Yes, sir.
your state doesn't have any manufacturing plant or any handloom industry in it.
Sir, there is not like significant improvement on that. Most of them are localized, especially handlooms. There is one branding of the craft, which is like Andaman Sagarika, which is one of the branches is been opened in capital city Delhi. So that is the only like branding of the what is this the crafts.
Okay. Okay. So out of all these, where do you find that matlab like in this particular livelihood option, people are not getting enough return so that they can live a secure life, or
Sir,
all these sectors are like this only?
yes, sir. Basically, which I found personally felt, sir, the over dependence on the tourism sector and the because of the COVID pandemic, there was lot of problems in the tourism sector, and I have seen the cases where the hotel could not pay the interest rates on the loans, and this led to a further creation of NPAs. So that I personally feel the over dependence on the tourism sector was one of the reason. Second, because of the tourism, second the geography, it's like we are like 1300 kilometer away from the mainland. So that also the problem of like the Andaman Nicobar is still dependent on the basics needs for the like on depend on the mainland for the basic needs like tomato and potato. That was one of the reason which I felt that can be reduced to reduce can be used we can use the farming in the like especially in the Diglipur areas, so that we can reduce dependence at least on the tomato production, especially from the Tamil Nadu.
Okay. And can you suggest me any other thing which has a very matlab, potential to generate livelihood for local people?
Uh, Sir, there is the one field which I personally feel can be potential is the horticulture, especially the flowering culture, because as presently the Andaman Nicobar's flower demands is being fulfilled by the mainland. 93% of the flowering demands are fulfilled by the uh, mainland, and which can be used being a hotspot, biodiversity hotspot. So I personally feel that area we can be a net exporter apart from being a net importer. Second is the coconut plantation, which is all around the year can be used to in we can link that coconut plantation like the products of coconut like such as coconut and tender coconuts and its products can be linked with the schools to provide nutrition to the childhood. That can be one of the way. Second, in tourism sector, sir, we can create a brand value, especially creating a boat house or a tree house, and creating a brand link like tying up the local restaurants with the especially 5 stars or 3 star hotels in the island in the India like Taj or something. Then opening up some more Andaman Sagarika craft in the state capital can be done to increase the livelihood, I personally say.
Okay. Uh, okay. Can you tell me the governance of your state, like how the state is being governed? Of course, everybody knows
Sir,
that it
I
is a union territory. So, can you
yes, sir.
give me a detail that how it happens and who are the people?
Sir, you mean the structure?
Yeah.
Sir, it's being a union territory. The it is like there are two types of in union territory. There are two types of governor like administrator. One is the administrator and the lieutenant governor. In Andaman Nicobar is the lieutenant governor, and the present lieutenant governor is D.K. Joshi, Admiral D.K. Joshi, who he was a former admiral of the Indian Navy. And then comes the chief secretary who's equivalent to the cabinet secretary at the PMO level in this in terms of state. I'm just comparing, sir. I'm not telling if
Yeah,
sir,
yeah, I understand. I
chief
understand.
secretary, he's the one who's manages the administration. And then comes the IG in the police sector, and then the normal order starts like the DC and in the police DC in the administrative area, and then comes the um, in police area is DIG, and that is the procedure, sir. And in
And
terms of our law and order, the law and order is being followed very strictly, because sir, I have traveled a lot of places in the India. I've been in Kerala, I've been in Delhi, and I've been in Gujarat. But the administration which I felt in Andaman is very strict. Like the Supreme Court judgment, the day Supreme Court judgment comes, the rules implement on the next day itself. Andaman is the only place which I felt, sir, both the peoples like in traveling in the bike wears helmets, they wear seat belts, because the police to people ratio is very low. So like it's very good, so that it's very easy to control the law and order.
what about judiciary?
Judiciary, there is some problems of judiciary, sir, because we don't have our own high court. That we have an additional circuit, additional branch we gets our power like judiciary powers from the Calcutta High Court. That additional branch is open there. Sometimes what happens, the till session and district courts, the matters are okay, but when it reaches the high court, sometimes it becomes a tiring job for the judges also, and for the like sometimes judges has to like come from the Calcutta as well. So that is one of the area which is the problem, I personally feel, sir.
Okay. So apart from Sagarika, can you tell me any policies of the state, not state, but Union Territories
So,
government, which deals with livelihood of people?
sir, there is one like sir, it started with the Gram Sadak Yojana, Prime Minister Modi vision of last mile connectivity. That is being strictly followed, and lot of the
So Gram
rampant.
Sadak Yojana was started by Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Yes, sir. Like
It
the
was his vision for the last
yeah,
mile connectivity.
yeah, that vision was forwarded by the prime minister, our former our present prime minister. That has been because of that there is a rampant production, rampant development connecting the inter islands. Recently there is the announcement of construction for the railway, so that to connect the inter islands. That is one is the that is one of the steps taken by the government. Second step, the development of free trade zone, especially in the Little Andaman, which will invite a lot of job opportunities and increase the livelihood. And third is creating of the spot points like um, special areas like where you can click photos and selfies, that area. Second, and then the next one is uh, giving
Okay,
brand.
so these are very small steps that government takes. I was asking about any concrete policy which to improvise the livelihood of people. Do you know any such policy? Because the Gram Sadak Yojana, it was the central government's policy, and
uh,
uh, and other things that you said was mainly based on infrastructure, basic infrastructural development. So, do you know any policy which basically has been created for livelihood development of local people?
I couldn't recall. So I can recall only small things like the basic policy. Sorry, sir, I couldn't recall that.
Okay, okay. Can you give me the demographic detail of your state? Do you have enough detail? Like, if I'll ask you, how many people are educated there in your island? Uh,
Sir, the Andaman Nicobar Island consists of 576 island, 570. Then it has 85% of literacy rate, and women is 82%, 70%, 75% literacy rate, and that is being like Andaman Nicobar Island comes into the like very important area in terms of the location, because it is very close to the Strait of Malacca, which is the only route for the Indian Ocean, and these $7 trillion yearly 7 trillion trade happens from that route. Second, and the third is that it also compromise. We are Andaman Nicobar also has high biodiversity, tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, and such type of forest. And the state animal is the state bird is the Andaman teal, and state tree is the Andaman teal, and then uh, so there is abundance corals, and there are basically four tribes: Ogis, Jarwas, Champagne, and Santalins. Santalins still are living in isolation. They are expected to be having the lifestyle of 12th century, and is the second oldest tribe of the world. So, so this much as and there are few tourist spots, especially the Cerebral Jail, which is very famous for uh, the during the British time. British used it as a jail to curb the freedom movements. And there is only volcanic island which is in situated in the Barren Island. Only active volcano island of the India is situated in the Barren Island. And there is one more beautiful beach. There are a lot of beaches, but there is one beach which is in top 10, Asia's top 10, and it also got the blue flag certification. That is Radhanagar Beach, which is in Swaraj Island, which is whose old name is Havelock Island.
okay, okay. So I was just asking about demographic detail, but you gave me many information. That was good. Matlab, it was not bad. Okay. Like you said that you are over dependent on the state is over dependent on the tourism sector. So the in the time of COVID, it got affected. So now when the COVID has become an endemic, so for the economic development of your state, you would focus more on uh, tourism, or if given a chance, like if I'm asking you that what should be your opinion, the state should focus more on tourism again, or they should develop alternate economic channels or alternate economic activities to boost employment in your state, or of course the income of your state.
So, if I being a policymaker, I will first think, sir, I will, of course, will try to increase the developments in the tourism sector, because they still the I personally feel the Andaman has not reached its potential in terms of tourism. We have only volcanic island in India which can be used to create a brand value. So that will be creating focusing on tourism sector will be one of the pillar, of course, because it involves high revenue for the union territory. Second, reducing the dependence on especially like the basic product which we personally feel can reduce, like such as the flower. I said about the horticulture flowering sector, where still 93% is been imported from the mainlands. That can be used to we can work on that area to reduce that. Second is that, sir, especially the crops like tomato and the other crops can be grown up in Andaman on a large scale to reduce dependence on the mainland. Because
Okay,
being
so
Yes, sir.
that's enough about your state. Now tell me, what do you understand by this course? What is there in the course which attracts you?
Sir, basically, this course attracted me like livelihood. Sir, I'm being in the Andaman, the islands, being in the island that helps me. I have seen the livelihood generating surround in my surrounding. So that attracted me to this course. Already, like that was a soft corner for that. Second was that the livelihood can be anything. Livelihood can be in manufacturing sector. Livelihood can be in the agricultural sector, and that helps. That personally is my interest area, sir. Third, it also like it will help me to get the grassroot knowledge of the problems existing in the country. Second, it will also help me to create a social innovation, uh, create a livelihood which helps in social innovation. And the third, it also has some uh, portion of aspect of enterprise. So it will also help me to open up the enterprise in the futures, not enterprise, especially open up the NGO or something related to that.
Okay. So after this course, where do you like to work? In your state only, or you will be looking for other areas to work with?
First, so personally, after this course, first I will be I would like to work into the uh, God's own country, Kerala, because the tourism sector is very has marked it has performed it has performed in a very tremendous way. So that will be area. Second, like after working in that area, sir, I will be also like to work in the international organizations like United Nations and such areas. And after that will be the reason. After that, I will be using those experience and coming back to the island will be helpful for the island, sir.
Okay. Chalo, thank you. Thank you very much.